Hello everyone, and welcome to the reverse grid British Grand Prix. So, to celebrate this weekend's Silverstone British Grand Prix then, I've decided to modify the F1 game to give me a completely reversed grid, so the slowest cars will be starting at the very front, and the fastest cars will be starting at the very back. You see in front of you there, a Williams 1, 2, Toro Rosso 3rd and 4th, McLaren 5th and 6th. I will say as well, this is all based on the F1 2019 current performance. This is before there's been any sort of performance patch. So the grid, the order of the teams isn't quite as it is in real life. They're a little bit different, but I've pretty much reversed those. So in theory, we should get the fastest cars, whatever they are, right at the back, and the slowest cars right at the front. And you know, this video is a little bit longer than previous videos. That's because I actually couldn't edit it down. There's action every single lap is actually quite astonishing. But anyway, we're away from the grid now. As you see, we're in the Haas as Romain Grosjean, and got the two Mercedes right in front of us there. But got a bit of a not a bad getaway. We're just in a slower car, and very, very close to Lewis Hamilton. That was incredibly close. I have actually got simulation damage on as well, so a little tap there would have lost our front wing. As we dive up inside the two Mercedes there, they're running 2x2, two Mercedes, two Ferraris. And Lance Stroll is a little bit out of place. I think, unfortunately, he's coded in the AI currently to be quite a bit slower than his teammate Perez, so he's actually quite a bit down. He was the only one really that was out of position. The rest are pretty much 2x2 in their teams. We've already gained two positions then. And we've got Leclerc and Vettel up next. We're going to dive at the inside of those. Very late move, and we actually get squeezed right over to cut the corner. We actually didn't have a choice there. He pushed us right over. And can I tell you, I actually had a look, and he did have some space on the outside. He decided to squeeze me right over. But it did work. He managed to get back ahead of me, so fair play to him. We're still getting in position on Sebastian Vettel, though, so we'll take that. We've got Charles Leclerc up next then. And having to go to overtake mode to do a bit of defending, because the AI do sometimes like to put their nose up the inside there, which of course just goes horribly wrong. So I wanted to try and avoid that, having to do a bit of defending. And again, rich fuel mixture and overtake ERS deployment, just using everything I can, because don't forget this is the fastest cars right now, so we're hoping to get past these guys fairly quickly, so then we can start making our way through some of the slower cars. That's the idea. And again, they're having to defend, so we wanted to be doing some attacking, but we're actually having to defend here. Sebastian Vettel trying to go on our outside, but managed to outbrake him, come into the braking zone and squeeze him on the exit, just push him out wide, and actually we ended up running wide ourselves. First lap, not really too sure how much grip we got, as there's someone going on our outside. That's actually Lewis Hamilton trying to go on our outside, but it doesn't quite work. But we're right behind Charles Leclerc again, so hopefully we can start attacking now rather than defending. Of course, it's these top four guys that are particularly quick. The Ferrari and Mercedes are the quickest cars. And actually Hamilton does the switch back on us and dives back up the inside. He gets the inside line for the next turn, but backs right out of it on the exit. I think he thought we were still alongside him there, so he decided to back out of it rather than squeeze us off the track onto the grass. Very generous of him there, but wow, I didn't expect AI to be able to do that. Just a real switchback move. That was really nice racing from the AI. And also, I will say, this is probably the best race that I've ever had against the AI. This is really, really good racing, and of course, having them in reverse order as well makes them really punchy. So I decided to give Lewis Hamilton the inside line there, because I don't want to be defending. I don't want to lose some time. And we'll squeeze him a bit. Do actually make a bit of contact, and he actually has a spin there. Rather strange. I tapped his front end, and he did have a spin. But I wouldn't say I was too aggressive there. I did turn in a little bit early, but only very marginally, and he just didn't react to that and just drove into the side of me. Luckily, he was the one that spun and not me, so that gives us a little bit of breathing space behind. So there's a Mercedes of Bottas now behind us, but a couple of seconds behind now, so we can now concentrate on trying to catch the cars ahead. Again, it is Charles Leclerc up next, and just in front of him we have, I believe, still got Stroll. Yes, it is indeed Stroll. And after that, we've got absolutely no idea who's up next. See on the mini-map, they're all still very bunched up. That's the beauty of this this idea, is that the field stays very, very bunched up for pretty much the duration of the race. Certainly up until the first pit stops, where you start to get some undercuts and some overcuts. That shakes things up a little bit. But for now, it's very, very bunched up. As we're right up behind Charles Leclerc now as I brake very early. I'm going to dive at the inside of Charles Leclerc. He's trying to go on the outside of Lance Stroll, but that doesn't work. Give him a bit of room on the inside because he's still there, but no, he's backed out of it now. And that was a very opportunistic move there. For some reason, they're all braking very, very early through there, as we actually get the fastest lap of the race, a 33.8. So we are pretty quick at the moment. That was only the second lap, of course, and everyone's pretty much bottled up behind each other, as Lance Stroll's a little bit slow. We're going to try and go to the inside, but no, he actually brakes very late there. You see, we even locked our inside tyre. He braked really quite late. We're going to dive at the inside of him now, just make the move stick. That was really nice. That's exactly what we need to do. Just make sure that we're at least wheel to wheel with them, because they do tend to turn in on you a little bit. I don't think they see you coming until the very last second, but we managed to make that move stick. Did get some DRS as well, and just trying to conserve our ERS. Now we're down to about half of our ERS battery. We need to be a little bit careful. We need lots and lots of ERS battery to be able to overtake people down the main straights, particularly in the DRS zones, and also need the potential for some defending against some fast cars. But for now, we've got a nice buffer of Lance Stroll behind us. Hopefully he can keep Charles Leclerc at bay for a little while to give us a bit more breathing space, so we can concentrate on attacking rather than just defending, as we went a little bit wide there. We've got Daniel Ricciardo up next in the Red Out. And then, I can't see who's next. I think it's actually the Red Bulls next. So the Red Bulls must have been up a few places on the start. Fair play to them. But we're all over the back of Daniel Ricciardo now. We're going to try and get past him. We've got purple in the first sector, fastest of anyone. We've got some DRS up into overtakers, using absolutely every brake horsepower that we've got. Full rich mode on the internal combustion engine and some overtake on the ERS. And we're going to dive his inside. He actually locked up a little bit there and squeeze him on the exit. And that's move done. Up to P14 now, P20 already lap 3. I'm going to dive inside of Gasly there. Very, very slow for some reason. Once again, the AI do seem to brake quite early there when they're in pack. I'm not too sure why. I think I figured out over the course of this race that they must have been programmed to not really want to go side by side through that corner. So if they are side by side, they just back out of it, which just slows everyone up when there's this close together. I think that's what happens. But we're certainly taking advantage of that particular way they work, and give us another, not a free position, we still have to fight for it. And don't forget, we have got, so we're down inside of Max Verstappen there. Very opportunistic once again. We knew that Verstappen was going to be a tough competitor, so we wanted to make the new stick and get past him, which we managed to do nicely. Got some DRS as well. It is Nico Hülkenberg up next then in the run-up once again. A little bit slower in the straight line than us. The beauty of being in the Haas is that we have got the Ferrari engine, so nice and quick in the straight line. But Max Verstappen's going to try going outside. We're going to have to try and run him out of road here, which we do indeed. Squeeze him on the exit. You're not going to go around the outside of there, Max, but decent try that was. Thinking my word there. Decent try that was. He actually very nearly made it stick, but not quite. And now, though, he's cost us a bit of time, so we need to try and come back to Nico Hülkenberg. Make sure we get some DRS. I think we're close enough to get DRS already. We are indeed. So we'll be okay for DRS. And just try and close him in now, though, so we can get a move done. Again, the Renault is a little bit slower than us in the straight line because we've got the Ferrari engine, him only having the Renault engine. But he's a little bit too far ahead, I suspect. He's got DRS as well. We are going to give it. No, we're not even going to give it full beans. We're backing off our ERS just to try and conserve a bit of battery, down to just 31% battery down that straight. So really just trying to conserve it. We're still on no ERS deployment. A bit of oversteer there, but luckily we don't lose any positions there. Again, just so slow for there, aren't they? But as I was mentioning previously, I have got simulation damage on, so I can't be too aggressive in there. If I go too aggressive, I'll end up hitting the car in front and losing a bit of wing. So I have managed to make one position, but it is only one. I won't be able to go any more aggressive than that. And even that relies on them being in traffic. So we run a little bit wide, but get away with it. Just avoid the grass. And again, we think about having a lunge on Perez there, but think we're going to lose our front wing. Do we have a lunge for the inside? We do indeed. Can we outbrake him? Yep, nicely done. Does turn on us a little bit there, but that's okay. Up into P10 now. First of the points paying positions. We've got some DRS once again. It's Antonio Giovinazzi up next. I love an Italian name. And again, going to no ERS deployment, just trying to save it up. We want to be using overtake ERS deployment down the straights as much as possible, which means we used to use as little as possible everywhere else. So, as we run right out wide there, we get the power a little bit too soon. That cost us a lot of straight line speed. We would have lost one position to Sergio Perez, lost another one to Nico Hülkenberg, and we've got Max Verstappen up our inside. We really don't want to lose the position to him. Going to try and hold it on the outside, but no. We actually went very wide. I see me backing off there to make it fair, but actually how backing us backing off has made Gasly come up our inside. Max goes defensive into that corner for some reason, which allows us to take the position back, which we certainly needed to do, because again, these are some of the quicker cars, aren't they? The Red Bulls, they're certainly very, very quick. So we didn't want to give him a chance with this Honda engine. He's going to lose a little bit in a straight line. Again, this is pre-patch. I imagine once they patch this game, you guys may well already know that by now, but imagine once they patch this game, Hondas will get a bit more power. But in this current pre-patch state, they haven't got much power. But we think about having a dive at the inside of Nico Hülkenberg, but we're a little bit too far back that time. So decide better of that. Again, no ERS deployment at the moment. Going to switch it up now, I think. No, maybe left that quite late. Is Verstappen going to have a go? No, I think he's too slow in a straight line, so we're okay for now. Just, you see me in his bottom around the corner. But, as I run very wide there, right out onto the grass. Just about managed to get back on the track, though. And that squeezes Max Verstappen out wide. But he's still up our inside. I have to give him a little bit of room. But he looks like he backs out of it. He's still there. And now he's no longer there. So, wow, we give Max Verstappen plenty of chances. I think if that was the real life Max Verstappen, I think we would have lost our position and then some, wouldn't we? There would have been no questions asked if you offer Max Verstappen an opportunity like that. But anyway, diving inside of Nico Hülkenberg there. I didn't expect that move. I was about to start talking about something else, but he does actually turn in on us a little bit. But it's okay. We managed to make a mistake where we've run quite wide. We need a good exit, which we have just about managed to get. And does move us back up to P11. Don't forget we were P10 before our previous mistakes. A bit of a scruffy last lap or so has cost us some positions as these guys are a little bit slow, battling each other up ahead. There was just to close in a little bit. Thankfully that should also give us some DRS. And again, just trying to conserve my ERS as much as possible. It's pretty tricky. You see me in the bottom right corner constantly twiddling the settings, just trying to save as much battery as I possibly can so I can do this down the straights, go into overtake mode, which is maximum deployment. rich fuel mixture as well, and some DRS for good measure. Going to the end of the straight now, we've got Sergio Perez having a go at Antonio Giovinazzi, and he backs out of it. That could have enabled us to have a good run at him on the inside of the next corner, and again they break so early, but we nearly hit Giovinazzi, just about get away with that. And up to P10, so we finally managed to get back to the position that we were in before we made our mistake, back into the points paying position. But again, look at the minimap, look how bunched the field up is. That's not quite correct English, but I'm sure you know what I mean. I think it's still the Williamses are up front. And then it looks like we've got Toro Rossos, and there's we have dives up the inside of Giovinazzi. I keep taking myself by surprise, you know. This post-commentary, I keep thinking, I'm not going to have a move, that's too far back. And then when I race this, apparently I did have a dive. It's good for me to watch, as well as you guys. And we got Lando Norris up next, up to P9 now then. Again, not even deploying ERS down this straight. We're not going to be able to make a move. Can't struggle for words during this commentary for some reason. Normally okay. It's all the excitement. It's pretty much non-stop this race. As I said, I couldn't even edit this down. I wanted to cut out the odd lap also. I like to get my videos sort of between 10 and 15 minutes, close to 10 minutes as possible really. But this video, as you can see, is over 20 minutes. Just couldn't cut any out. There's just constant action. I mean, just look at the minimap. You can see exactly why from the minimap. It's just so bunched up, and there's just stuff going on all the time. There's constant defending, constant attacking. And actually, I might do this idea again. I was thinking about doing this idea as this was such a good race, potentially for each live race that we have this year. So, you know, when this is the weekend of the British Grand Prix, do it next up at, is it not Monaco next, is it up Spa next, something like that. I can't remember what's next on the calendar. But yeah, just kind of run with the live calendar. But I think that might get a bit repetitive. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. As we've got some people coming into the pits now then. And there's only 3 cars though. One of them is the Williams. So we'll kind of unleash us, but it's another Williams on track. So I think we'll be able to go a little bit quicker, but not too much. My teammate is also in the pits, as that is the only edit I was able to make for this whole race, was skipping most of the in lap. We are coming in at the end of this lap. And looks like most people who's pretty bunched up in the pit lane though. We don't know how late to brake, but these guys are very slow, very nearly hit Kimi Räikkönen. I tell you what, I was so glad not to hit him there. We actually get a warning for a collision, despite the fact he was crawling into the pit lane. But as I said, I've got simulation damage on, and if I hit him there and lost the wing, that would have cost me probably another 5 or 6 seconds in the pit lane, and that would have heavily compromised our race. So I was so glad not to hit him there. Incredibly close stuff. I think they were just too bunched up. As we want to get going again, 2.9 seconds stop, reasonable. And look at that, that is a Mercedes behind us. There's nobody going to come up between us. So this has now stopped being just an attacking race. This will also now be a defending race, because the quicker cars are able to make good benefit of. Oh, wow, that was a bit of oversteer, getting a bit distracted there, wondering why I'm not disabling the pit limiter, and then just suddenly loads of oversteer as we get 2 cars come for inside. But as I said, we are going to have to defend as well, because we've got a very fast car behind us. Mercedes, of course, is a lot quicker than the Haas, as we have a little think about going up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, but that was a little bit too adventurous. We don't quite know the grip of these tyres yet. And we do get some DRS at least though, and we are going to use full overtake mode, see if we can get this move done. Look at that, we've got a good straight line speed advantage on this Renault. We don't want to have a look at the Toro Rosso, a bit of a lock of the inside wheel, very close to hitting to the back of Daniel Kvyat, but we just about managed to avoid that. Up to P10 once again. Don't forget, not everyone's pitted yet. I don't know how many more people are yet to pit, only not many though. I think there's a handful yet to pit. But Daniel Kvyat then will be up next. He should be quite slow. The Toro Rosso is one of the slower cars in his current build on F1 2019, so we shouldn't have too many problems overtaking him. Hence I'm in low mode, but actually Valtteri Bottas has managed to overtake, I forgot who it was it Ricciardo behind us? So now Valtteri Bottas is going to be all over us, so we want to get past Kvyat as quickly as possible so that Bottas isn't hounding us, because he's very likely to overtake us. He's got such a car advantage, and up into overtake us, and look at this huge straight line speed advantage against the Toro Rosso, which is also running a Honda engine. Bottas actually tries to follow us around the outside. Will that compromise him into the next turn? Trying to look in my mirrors to see if he gets past. And they're still side by side. Kvyat will have the inside line though, so hopefully Kvyat can stay ahead. Go on, Kvyat. Yes, he does indeed. Looking in my mirror, does stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas, which is absolutely fantastic news for us, because even though I hold him up, even if it's only for a couple of corners, that will give us a tiny bit of breathing space. But actually, it's all over the back of us. Look at this. He wasn't using much ERS deployment, trying to save it up, and he's actually almost overtaken us there. As a few more guys to do it. We actually got Charles Leclerc, another very fast car coming out of the pits. We'll have a look around the outside of him. Is that going to work? Yes, he's very slow on the apex. We're going to dive right about outside of him, and he was very slow on the apex there. That was a bit strange. But anyway, up to P7 now. But again, we wanted to avoid having a fast car behind us. But what happens? A fast car comes straight out of the pits, and the Ferrari, no less, which is very fast in a straight line, same engine as us. Hence, having to use lots of ERS down that straight. But we're going to just try and keep up now. We're going to try and catch Lando Norris up ahead so we can get some DRS. He has got a Williams. I think that said George Russell up ahead of him. I don't think, yeah, we've already overtaken a Williams. Can't remember which one it was. So he has got Williams up ahead of him, so he'll be a bit slower. Charles Leclerc's having a little look up our inside, but we don't even let him do that. He actually did have a little look there, a good look, and that's cost him quite a bit of time. I watched in my mirror there. He actually swiped right across the back of me, so that could have taken us out. I'm very glad he did not do that. But again, I keep saying the word breathing space, but that's really important. When you've got these faster cars behind you, the Ferrari is, oh, bit of oversteer. The Ferrari is probably, what do you reckon, a second and a half quicker than the Haas. Maybe not quite a second and a half, but somewhere between those two times, I'd say, on the current state of F1 2019. So that's a lot. That is an awful lot of time, and we're not that much quicker. We're maybe a couple of tenths quicker than our teammates. So Mercedes probably about at least a second quicker than us, I'd say. So an awful lot, or Ferrari rather, an awful lot of time. So we want to be not have one of those faster cars behind us, because we're going to have to do more defending than attacking. Again, like, having to come to the middle of the track to defend, because I know these guys are so quick in a straight line. The Haas isn't so straight line. We've got another fast car coming out of the pit exit now. It's Lewis Hamilton this time, and he actually breaks a bit later than Leclerc did. We're going to try and go on the outside, do the same things we did on Leclerc, try and not outbrake ourselves this time. I'll get my words out eventually. And a bit of oversteer there. Lewis Hamilton's actually got the fastest lap of the race. You see in the top left there, he's got a purple name. So clearly he had a very, very fast in lap. He's pushed it a little bit longer. Despite having worn tyres, he was able to do some really good lap times. And we have a lunge, that's the word for that, up the inside of Lando Norris. We are going towards the end of this race already. Then lap 11 of lap 13, this race has flown by, just because so much has been happening. Again, it's nice to have a little bit of cushion between us and the Mercedes behind. And coming right up behind Carlos Sainz now, and it is indeed George Russell. And actually, look who's in P1. It's only our teammate, Kevin Magnussen, so we want to try and dispatch these guys as quickly as possible so we can try and get after our teammate and make it a Haas 1-2, but we want to be the one that's winning, not our teammate. But, we've actually made a bit of a hash there, a bit of a mistake through Magnussen-Beckett's complex. That's not worked out great in our favour. We're going to use absolutely all of our power available. Look how much we're gaining on George Russell without the DRS. We're going to try and up the inside of both of them, make it 3 wide into the next turn then. And Carlos Sainz actually turned in on us there, but we managed to make the mistake and keep all 4 wheels, or at least 2 of our wheels, on the track to make a double overtake. That was a really nice move. And now it is time to get after our teammate then. We're up into P2 from P20 on the grid, reverse grid. And now it is time to try and hunt down our teammate for P1. It's currently a Haas 1-2. It's looking good for a Haas 1-2, but we want to be the leading Haas car. We don't want to be in second, despite the fact we start from the back of the grid. We've got 2 whole laps to catch him. 2.2 seconds was the gap last time around. So we need to try and close it down. It's quite a lot of time, but if we can gain maybe a second by pushing really hard on this lap, then we can try and get some DRS on the next lap, which maybe might enable us to overtake him, or at least get close to have a lunge coming into the final section. 1.8 seconds. We've already gained 4 tenths in the first sector alone then. See a little bit of inside lock in there. We are pushing very, very hard. Just seeing if we can catch him. Carlos Sainz behind us. We haven't got a faster car behind us at the moment, although looking on the mini-map, Valtteri Bottas, or was it Lewis Hamilton? I think it was Hamilton, wasn't it? Is right behind him, so he might be hunting us down. So let's hope Carlos Sainz can defend for a little bit longer. Looking on the minimap, then they are side by side. I think Hamilton gets through, does he? Yes, he is. Hamilton's got through on Carlos Sainz, which means he's now going to be hunting us down. So we might have to be defending and attacking come the last lap, because they're going to be quite a bit quicker than us. But for now, we're just concentrating on the car up ahead then. And I didn't see the time. There hadn't been a time. 1.3 seconds now into another half a second in the middle sector alone. We have got the pace on him. We've probably got over a second lap on him. We need to keep it nice and consistent. Try and also gain some time through this final sector. And 1.3. Will we be able to get some DRS at the end of the first sector on this next lap? Pushing it hard now, coming into this section. Final section of the lap. What it's going to be? It was 1.3 seconds. It looks like we haven't gained too much into this final section. It's 1.4. We've actually lost a tenth, so we almost certainly will not get DRS then, unfortunately, at the next DRS zone. But we're going to try and push hard and get it again. But actually, Carlos Sainz has managed to get past Lewis Hamilton then. That's good news for us. That means we will not have to worry about defending now. We've definitely got the pace on Carlos Sainz. We would not have had the pace on Lewis Hamilton. But Kevin Magnussen, that's all we care about right now. P1 and P2. It's a Haas 1-2. Which one is going to be winning? We want it to be us. Romain Grosjean is now hunting down Kevin Magnussen. Do we gain a bit more time in the middle sector? We do indeed gain about another 4 tenths in the middle sector, but we know we are not quicker in the final sector. So we need to gain just maybe a couple of tenths to make sure we get some DRS down the back straight for the next lap, and then maybe have a lunge into the final sector. That's our only real chance now. I think we're pushing it. We just need to push so hard. We have got enough fuel to go rich to the end, I think. No, we haven't. Not quite. Going back to standard there, but Just trying to make sure we use every single milliliter of fuel. We run a little bit wide there. And we're going to go back to low. We need to save our ERs as much as possible. We want to go as quickly as possible while also having enough ERs for the back straight. I think we are going to get some DRS. Yes, we do get DRS. That's going to help us. We're not going to be able to overtake him down the back straight, I don't think, but it's going to enable us to close up quite considerably. It is now 7 tenths. We gained another 3 tenths or so through the middle sector. DRS saying will gain us another couple of tenths. Oh, we're going to be close enough. We need to have a mega next corner. This is Stone. No, not quite. And we even run really wide. They go on the power really early just to try and see if we can make something happen. But it's not going to happen. This is where I wanted to overtake him. Kev Magnussen put up just enough of a fight. Going to come across the line. Lots of oversteer. Going to come across the line to take home a Haas 1-2 then. Who saw that come? And I have to tell you, I did do a few practice laps, and I did even finish one of the races, do a practice race, and Haas were nowhere near the front, so that is a bit of luck there that we've had a Haas 1-2. Gunther Steiner is absolutely over the moon. All the team congratulating each other. A Haas 1-2. Well, I was about to say, I wonder how long it'll be until we see that in real life, but I should probably ask, will we ever see that in real life? Be interesting to see. But anyway, you can see my team celebrating there. Wow, wow, wow. What a race that was. I tell you what, I loved racing that. And I genuinely, after that race, I genuinely fist pumped and said, wow, what a video that'll be. Genuinely, I said that out loud after I recorded this video. So I really, really enjoyed racing this race. I just enjoyed commentating it. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. Subscribe if you're new, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.